Former Nole Malique Ewin back in town. Taylor Bowen's been really good. Chandler Jackson and Jalil Bethia ready to rock. This is the second time these two teams are meeting. Mario Masudi, Eric Devensdorf, our entire group ready to play ball. Rivalry basketball doesn't get better than this.
Oh, well, you said it, rivalry basketball. And these are one of these games where you throw the records out of the window. These two teams do not like each other, and they're going to go as hard as they possibly can.
Watkins' early jump shot there from the corner. Florida State's leading scorer, 6th in the ACC, making a case for all ACC honors. Cleveland, Bethia, Ugochukwu, Johnson, and Kidd. Noles won 80-65 back in early January. Cleveland back on his former home court, going to the line, and this is something from Matt Cleveland we have seen, especially over the last 8 games. There is an assertiveness to the way he plays, and Miami is following their leader.
Well, you know, Matthew Cleveland, he has to get off to a strong start. He has to be aggressive at the rim. But Miami, overall, as a team, they have to get out to a fast start, give themselves some confidence. They don't want to play from behind on the road. 0-7 on the road this season, looking for their first road win.
Miami actually hasn't won an ACC away game 13 consecutive contests since the middle of last year. There's Matt Cleveland from Atlanta, 6th man of the year at Florida State. The 3 30-point games this year with Miami lead the conference. Cleveland has really improved every facet of his game. Watkins steps into a 3, that rims out, offensive rebound, Ewin. Now the birthday boy, Chandler Jackson, turns 21 today. Birthday bucket gets us started.
And we were talking to Coach Courtney at shoot-around. Those were one of the keys for his Miami team. Not letting Florida State get paint touches, which collapse the defense, allows to get easy shots like that and opportunities on the perimeter. Great job by Jackson getting in 2 feet into the paint, knocking it down.
Double team comes to Kidd, he turns it over. Bowen in the nose, dangerous in transition. Watkins, 3-ball, launches right side, missed everything.
Well, you want Watkins, your best player on Florida State, to be aggressive, but settling for those first 2 3-point shots is probably not what Coach Hamilton would want him to do. You want to start off setting the tone, getting to the basket, being aggressive, seeing if you can get to the foul line.
Well, he's launched 3 times from beyond the arc, 0 for 3 to start. He does have a much improved shot from beyond the arc this season, 35%.
He's an improved 3-point shooter, but he excels at getting to the free throw line, tops in the ACC. And to start the game off, get yourself going, be aggressive, get to the rim, feel that contact, get your blood going a little bit.
3-ball in the corner, not there. 2-2 after Cleveland's free throws. Nice offensive rebound and feed. And the dunk from Brandon Johnson, the senior from Raleigh.
Brandon Johnson is another guy for this Miami team that he's capable of scoring 20-plus points a game, but he hasn't really been consistent like Miami needs him to be. But besides guys like Cleveland and Lynn Kidd, Johnson is another guy that could really be an X factor for this Miami team.
Averages nearly 8 points a game on the transfer. Ewin at the glass, flushes it home. Oh, that's an aggressive dunk there from Ewin, who had a double-double, 20 and 10 against Miami earlier in Coral Gables this year.
For Florida State to win basketball games, they have to have Malique Ewin be aggressive early and often. You see what happened against Clemson. They really shut him out of that basketball game. They lost by 30 points. He has to look to assert himself early in this basketball game for Florida State.
That was a good pass inside as Kidd able to finish from the right block. Canes lead by 2. They played better over their last 6 games for Bill Courtney. Near turnover, thrown away, picked up by Miami. Johnson. Canes want to run. Divine Ugochukwu, 3-ball in the air, yes sir. That's Jalil Bethia.
And that's a great sign for the Hurricanes. Jalil Bethia, he's one of the most talented freshmen in the country. Slow start to the season, but as the season has progressed, he's starting to show his talent. He's starting to find his way.
9-4 Miami. Ewin working against Kidd. Trying to get to that right hand and does. Faces and he connects. How about a little touch from Ewin?
And I just like the aggression. You're 6'11", you're skilled. You have a good body size. Go into his chest. Bump one, bunch twice, play off the contact, and finish at the rim. Great job early on by Malique Ewin asserting himself.
Pass to the right wing on the attack. Block shot. Taylor Bowen. Top 5 in the ACC in blocks. One of the best to reject. Transition 3. Davis can't connect. It's a Florida State team, folks, that does not shoot the basketball well. And they have struggled all season from beyond the arc.
They don't shoot the basketball well, and when you're going to the rim, if you're Miami, you know they're going to have shot blockers there, so you got to go strong, you got to play off 2 feet, you got to use your pump fakes.
You know what they do well? They block shots.
They block
Tops
shots.
in the ACC, they've got another one there.
And they steal the ball well.
Here's Jackson turning, facing a floater. He's got 4. On the day, he turns 21. Noles down by 1.
Watkins, Ewin, those are the 2 guys who really have been consistent for Florida State this whole year. If they can get another guy really to step up, Jackson or Davis, they're going to be that much better.
Kidd with another bucket from close range. What have you liked from the way Miami has started?
I think Miami, they just have to be able to assert themselves on the defensive side of the ball, stay connected, be physical. Then offensively, they have to be able to move the ball, get Florida State moving side to side so they can open up them gaps. I think early on they're doing a good job of trying to be aggressive, driving the ball to the rim.
Watkins aggressive to the rim, can't connect. Slow start for Florida State's best player. He's 0 for 4. Miami leading by 3. Their McDonald's All-American starts it off with a triple.
Jaleel Bethel, one of the most talented freshmen in the country, starting off early. And on the other end, Bull says, no, no! One of the top shot blocking teams in the country.
Miami leads Florida State by 3 here in Tallahassee, the second of 2 meetings. Noles won 80-65 in Coral Gables back on January 8th. You see what Malique Ewin, Taylor Bowen were able to do. The Noles actually, their season high in 3-point made field goals at 10 came against the Canes. But that's a different Miami team, isn't it? One that was getting used to Coach Courtney's style. Now they're more connected. A better unit as they've moved into February.
Well, Coach Courtney, we were talking to him in shoot-around. He said after that California game, they had a talk as a team, and that's when he really felt like this was his team. They're playing more connected, they're moving the ball better, and they're more active on the defensive side of the ball.
Taylor Bowen's active, 3 blocks. That one against his former teammate.
All right, this is a team, when you go into the lane, you think you have a shot, but then a guy comes from the weak side with a 7'4" wingspan and gets a block.
Foul at the rim on the other end.
If I'm Jamir Watkins, I know I could shoot the basketball, but why would I settle when I can get to the rim every single time like this and have a chance at an and one or an opportunity to make 2 free throws? You can't settle when you excel at getting to the basket. Get to the basket, and that'll open up your perimeter game.
Watkins, who leads the ACC in free throw attempts and free throw makes, knocks down the first. He's in the scorer's column. Oh, Leonard Hamilton, one of the legends of college basketball, 436 wins. He has done it at multiple stops, including at Miami. I mean, just one of the greats, and he's calling it quits here at the end of the season in Tallahassee.
Well, it's an honor to be able to call his games, and we have the SMU game, the end of the regular season game for Florida State, so it's an honor to be able to do that. But I love what Coach Stan Jones told us earlier today. Obviously a Hall of Fame basketball coach, but he's a leader of young men. He's much more than a basketball coach. He's a guy that's transformed these young men's lives, and that means more to him than being a basketball coach, which is super important, especially now in this era.
He's built it on the backs of terrific defense, creating turnovers. The Noles have forced 3 of them now. Watkins, left corner, going to work against Joe Bay. That's a pretty move, couldn't finish, but a foul called.
Ari, if I'm Jamir Watkins, I'm only shooting the basketball right now when I'm wide open. You see him jab, jab, good change of direction into a spin cycle, and I don't know if that was a foul right there by Joe Bay, but just Watkins being aggressive to the rim, that's when the referees are going to give you the advantage. And if I'm Jamir Watkins, just continue to attack the basket aggressively, and you'll have the advantage, and you'll get opportunities at the free throw line.
He's done that the last couple of possessions, Eric. And he has tied this game at 11.
Ari, he's a guy who I believe has a chance to play at the next level. He's versatile. He's a big guard. He's strong. Obviously, he has to improve his jump shot even more. But teams are looking at him as a second-round pick, if not get picked up in free agency, but he's definitely given himself a chance by how he's played the senior year.
The versatility, length, and ball handling ability, can switch on multiple positions. Ton of NBA scouts here tonight, including Carlos Boozer. Our own ACC Network's Carlos Boozer. Ogochukwu working against Holtz. Tries to find the middle, inside, at the rim, nice pass, extra pass, open 3. Rattles out. Joe Bay couldn't connect. Dang, one of Florida State's best 3-point shooters. Had a great look.
That's a great opportunity for Florida State, and that's how they want to play. Long rebound, get out and play fast, have open opportunities.
How about Cleveland torquing his body with a little finesse?
Well, another guy who's a big guard, 6'7", he's going to have a chance at the NBA level. He gets to the basket with the best of them in the country.
Miami leads by 1 after the miss from Watkins, and they turn it over. How about the job that Bill Courtney has done for Miami? Hadn't been easy, right? The Canes 2 wins of the 11 since Jim Larinaga stepped down on December 26th. But you can start to see the shift, right? The last 6 games. The guys are playing for him.
Yeah, exactly. We said it earlier. It came after that California game when he really felt like this was his team now. And over these last 5-6 games, you see the difference in Miami. They're playing connected. They're playing with more energy. Offensively, they're starting to move the ball. And they're a team that they can always score the ball, Aria, but defensively, they're playing much, much better.
They played really well on that possession, didn't they? Got a deflection. Watkins struggling from the floor. So are the Noles. 4 of 13. Backdoor cut. Kick to the corner. Johnson. Ball movement right side now. Ogochukwu a 3. That's no good. Back iron. Watkins has it.
And Ogochukwu, he only has 4 threes on the year, so that's not his strength, but We talked about it in shoot-around. He's a guy, when he's on the floor for Miami, they're a much better team having him at the point guard position.
Jerry Dang also turning 21 today. 2 birthday boys on the Noles team, some twins. Thomas, 3-ball, off to the left. Noles are 0 for 7 to start from beyond the arc. Cleveland wants a transition 3. That's off the back iron. He grabs his own miss. On the attack, too strong. Alir Malouk pushes it ahead to Holt. Holt baseline drive to Thomas on the left corner. Here's Dang. One-on-one against Cleveland. Holt drives. Baseline floater. Front iron. But he's fouled. Back and forth early in tally in this rivalry matchup. The ACC's Committee for Racial and Social Justice, in conjunction with its member institutions, have identified February 13 to 23rd as ACC Unity Week. As a part of this initiative, members of Miami and FSU join one another on the court to demonstrate their commitment to seeing each other as equals and treating each other with respect and dignity at all times, recognizing that our differences don't divide us but make us stronger. Matt Cleveland, 4 early points to lead Miami. Ewin's got a bucket here. What stood out so far?
I think Miami's doing a good job of being aggressive. Really, both teams have gotten some open looks. They just haven't been able to knock them down. FSU 0 of 7 from the three-point line. I think, Arya, that's a sign. Get to the basket. Put your head down. Try to get to the free throw line like you're having the opportunity right here.
Holt can't connect on that first free throw. Both teams combined over their last 8 in this game. You saw the graphic that popped out of your bug there, right? The three-point shooting so far not going either team's way. The Noles haven't made one. 7 tries. They've gotten some good looks as Holt, icy shooting. The Noles couldn't hit a bucket against Clemson over the weekend either. 72-46 loss. It just kind of felt like there was a lid on the basket against the Tigers, who sweep the Noles this season.
Yeah, well, both teams aren't great three-point shooting teams.
Shots like that one, just not going down.
And if you're not shooting the ball great and you're getting to the rim, having opportunities to the rim and not making those, it could be a long game. Florida State just has to continue to be aggressive, getting to the rim, and those will fall eventually.
And then Miami threw the ball away. That's their 5th turnover.
And that's one thing that Coach Courtney talked about. They have to be able to take care of the ball. They want to try to get out and play fast, but they want to be selective when they play fast and be able to make good decisions.
They've done a better job of that in recent games. The Noles are #1 in the ACC in forcing turnovers per game. Here's Ewin. Baseline drive. Oh, he stepped out of bounds. He stepped on the baseline. The PA announcer was confused. There was a whistle after he made the basket, but it was a signal he stepped on the baseline.
Yeah, and I like the aggression. I just think when he gets the ball, he has to be able to make a quicker decision. Miami has to do a better job of bringing that double team early, but when Malique Ewin gets the ball in the post down there, you have to be more decisive, be quicker to make a decision.
It's great looks from our cameras. This place erupted thinking they had an AN1. Students have packed it out, sold out the student section. Anytime Florida State plays Miami in anything, you can count on the students to show up. Drive, turning, trying to face Schwartz. Losing the ball in the air, kick out, Jobé. 3-ball, cans it. Paul Jobé, the sophomore from France.
And that's what he does. He can shoot the basketball, and he also can get to the bucket. But Miami did a great job of continuing to drive to the basket. Drive, kick out. They got an opportunity up a long scramble. Drive to the basket again. Kick out for a jump shot.
Jobé did tie his career high with 13 against Florida State when these two teams met back in Miami. Thomas, he finds himself wide open again. Not there. Florida State's 0 for 8 from beyond the arc.
But that's the opportunities you want. Great ball movement, swing for an open shot. Just don't knock it down, but you'll get those opportunities if you continue with that ball movement.
Canes by 4. Schwartz, Jobé working against Swinton, the freshman. Hangs in the air. That's a tough shot. Great defense from A.J. Swinton.
It's a great job by Miami. Getting 2 feet in the paint, collapsing the defense, kicking out Jobé, doing his job, knocking down the open jump shot.
Paul Jobé averaging 5 points per game on the year. Also had 13 in a game earlier this season against Syracuse. One of Miami's best wins. Game on the Canes, home court in the Watsco Center. Cleveland with over 30 on that night. Miami does have 2 wins in their last 4 games. They forced the turnover there.
And both teams are making it harder than it's supposed to be on the offensive side of the ball. And that's one way to do it. Stan McRae, just go ahead, get it, put your head down, get to the rim, and finish with the left hand. Both teams are letting the ball stick too much. They got to get it from side to side and try to find those gaps and attack off the ball movement. But who's going to do it for Florida State without Watkins in, and who's going to do it for Miami without Cleveland in the game?
Good questions nonetheless. Could Malique Ewin be the answer? Watkins had foul trouble against Miami back on January 8th against the Canes, and it was Ewin who stepped up with 20 big points, and Taylor Bowen who stepped up with 16.
But what's crucial for Florida State is who's going to be able to get the ball to Malique Ewin. You have to have a guy who can get the right angle, right passing angle to get him the ball where he can be effective.
That's a tough shot for Bethea off to the left. Battling for it down low. Noles come away with it. Kyrie Huey was in there for the Canes. Ewin, good pass. Dang launches from the right wing, and he connects. All 3 of those for Jerry Dang here on his birthday.
Aria, how many guys at the center position can dribble the ball up, get themselves into the post, and then make a right-hand hook pass across the court to their teammate to knock down an open 3? Malique Ewin is showing his skill set right there.
Staten McRae, his 3-ball off to the right. Knocked out, rebound long, McRae lays it in. A.J. Staten McRae. Transfer from Samford. 1,000-point scorer, nearing that mark in his career. Dang just hit one, his second off to the right. Rebound, chased down in the corner by Ewin. What a pass, dang, it's foul. How about the big man? He had snake eyes.
Malique Ewin, he's pulling all the stunts out, showing his passing ability.
Miami by 3 in this rematch.
That is must-see TV. Give her the ball. Are you kidding me? And it's a tie game. He drinks it. I can't believe what I am witnessing. The streak lives. He's in for the win.
Can't wait for Champ Week in the ACC tournament. It should be a lot of fun. Miami leading Florida State 20-17. And we look at the game summary here. I mean, tough shooting from beyond the arc for both teams. Cleveland and Watkins, our 2 stars, have combined for just 8 points. What stood out from this game so far about midway through the first half?
Well, Miami's doing a good job of being aggressive. They have 7 assists. They're moving the ball well. They got to do a better job of taking care of the ball, but they want to try to continue to get that ball moving in the half court. And if they can, get out in transition and get some easy opportunities at the rim. Florida State, on the other hand, they have to continue attacking the basket. They're going to drop eventually. If not, you're going to get opportunities at the free throw line if you continue to be aggressive.
Miami only 13 assists per game averaging this season, so the 7 of them, as this is a pass, all Staten McRae couldn't connect. He almost had an assist for Cleveland. Just showing you the togetherness they've been able to play with. They found some chemistry, some continuity, and an understanding of what Coach Courtney wants here over the last 6 games or so.
Well, I think early on, Miami was really playing a lot of iso ball. They weren't trusting each other. Now you see over these last 5 games, they're starting to trust each other more, passing the ball, moving it more. And Cleveland has really developed into more of a leader, and guys are playing off of him.
He's had to by necessity. Great defense by Miami. Forced the shot clock violation.
We just talked about Miami. They're improving defensively. And what is defense? Is energy and effort and it's activity. Just moving around, flying around, getting your hands up on shots. Miami did a great job of that on that possession.
Well, Bill Courtney told us he felt like it was his team after the California trip, right? They get beat by Stanford pretty good there in game 1. Game 2, they lose in overtime to Cal, but you started to see the ingredients come together. And since then, the Canes have won a couple of games. Notre Dame, Syracuse, as we mentioned. Played Pitt tough, played Louisville tough. Hasn't been easy sledding here, and Coach Courtney joked, he said, look, it is what it is, but these guys, a lot of seniors, want to end their careers with wins and not losses, and we technically still got a shot to make the ACC tournament.
I don't think people really understand how hard it is to take over a team mid-season. These guys were used to playing under Coach Larinaga, and now they really got to develop trust with Coach Courtney. Even though he was assistant coach, it's a totally different thing being the head coach. So you just like to see these guys starting to trust their coach, and even though their record doesn't show it, they're starting to play better, they're starting to play more connected, and more importantly, they're starting to be more active defensively.
In transition, Davis, count it, through some contact as well. We are tied at 20 on the bucket from the freshman.
Aria, I know one guy who's not worried about the contact, and that's Deontay Davis, a former football player. He's going downhill with his head down, and he's looking for the contact, finishing at the rim.
You can see the aggressiveness for Davis over the last couple of games. Full court pass, looking for Davis, too strong.
This former football player, once he gets the ball with a full head steam, he's just going right at you, putting his shoulder down, and he's not afraid of that contact. And you see right there, Ugochukwu just lost his footing, but Davis with a good job just attacking the rim aggressively.
Ewin was playing quarterback there. Two hands, full court in this 2020 game. Kidd attacks, lays it in.
And Aria, I think for Miami, in the half-court set, they have to do a better job of finding Lynn Kidd. He's doing a great job, averaging almost 12 points, but he's a solid low-post scorer. He's effective in there, and when the double team comes, he's a capable passer.
Lynn Kidd on his third ACC school in his career, started at Clemson, then became a really good basketball player at Virginia Tech and Blacksburg, now at Miami. Double-double against Pitt in his last matchup. That's a foul. They're going to give Ewin 2 shots. That was nifty from Malique Ewin. On the pass, he almost just tried to volleyball bump it into the net.
He was one of the most skilled bigs in the country. For him, his whole thing is he has to be more aggressive. You have to be willing to be physical at that position, at an inside position, be assertive, and I think if he does that, he'll just be that much better. But Ugochukwu has to do a better job of getting over there early on that dive from Ewing.
He was throwing the Hail Mary on that last pass. Speaking of guys who know how to throw it full court. Full field, down the field. There's Jordan Travis along with Malik Benson. Jared Verse, Amari Gaynor. I said Malik Benson. He was on the team this past year. Trey Benson, Arizona. Running back for the Cardinals, second-round pick. Guys back in town. ACC championship team from last season. Was that a goaltend? Yes, it was. Kidd with a really nice move. Lynn Kidd's got 8 points early. He's done a nice job down low for the Canes.
And on both ends, for Miami and Florida State, when you're able to establish your big, now it makes the defense come in a little bit more. Now it opens up opportunities for jump shots from the perimeter and drives from your guards.
Bobo and 3-ball off to the right. Long rebound corralled by Staten McRae. Canes by 3. Ugochukwu into the corner. Johnson looking for help. Threw it away. Intercepted by Ewin. Watkins in that right corner. Guarded by Johnson. Pulls it out. 6th in the ACC in scoring. Steps back and he buries the 3. That's got to feel good for Jamir Watkins.
And I think that's the difference for Jamir Watkins this season. Early on in his career, if you backed off, he was going to attack you. Now, if you back off, he has the confidence to shoot that right in your face.
Staten McRae Steps back as Watkins hits the deck. Play on.
He got away with the push-off right there, too.
Davis probes, Watkins attacks, steps through, Euro, that rims out. They're letting them be physical so far.
But you see Jamir Watkins just hit one on the previous possession. Now they have to come out a little bit further. Now that opens up that drive. That was good defense by Johnson.
Kidd cross-court pass, Cleveland, 3-ball. Oh! That was pretty from Matt Cleveland, smiles on his face.
Well, it feels good to come in here against your former team and hit a tough three. And he's here in the booze, but look, he's one of the most talented players in the country.
Oh, speaking of talent, that was tough. Great finish from Ewin.
And that's why there's NBA scouts. They're here for Malique Ewin, among other players, Watkins and Cleveland. But the skill set that Ewing has is really rare at the center position. He can pass, he can dribble, and he can score the ball. He just has to be more aggressive.
Number 1 in the ACC in field goal percentage is Ewin. Has been a big boost out of the JUCO ranks for the Noles. Bowen stays on his feet. Watkins, Euro step, has it taken away. Taps it out. Jackson's 3 rims out. Oh! Are you kidding me? Bowen high above this Tallahassee sky.
And how about the length of Bowen going up there with the extra effort, getting the tip in on the offensive rebound. Great job by Bowen.
Forced turnover. Noles on a run. Davis takes it himself, lays it in with the left hand. Timeout taken Miami, Florida State. A burst of energy as they take the lead here late in the first half.
And Watkins can drive the ball, but he says, I can also shoot it. You better step up, young man. And on the other end, Matthew Cleveland showing his much improved three-point range.
How about the defensive rookie of the year, Jared Verse, with the Rams, first round pick. He's still talking to Jalil Bethia. Miami star freshman Jay Trav, Jordan Travis, and Trey Benson. Oh, there's the QB. QB1, Jay Trav. And Trey Benson, a second-round pick of the Arizona Cardinals. There is no love lost. And I'm telling you, folks, Jalil Bethia was talking to the courtside seats and saying, I'm a Birds fan, I'm an Eagles fan, and he can talk. he can talk. He's from Philadelphia. Number 3. Philly went through the Rams. Jalil got to enjoy that.
Yeah, look, the Eagles won the Super Bowl. That's tops right there. But then he just showed him his watch.
Did you see Peter Warwick?
That's my guy right there. All-time great.
That's an OG.
OG. One of my favorite football players watching growing up.
Yeah, the Tuck just went electric here in the break as they showed those guys on the Jumbotron. Aria Masudi, Eric Devendorf, speaking of electric. ED in the building. Bethia. Oh, that was nice. Little kiss.
And that's why he has to be better with his decision-making. Be decisive. Rip, go through, get to the rim if you have an open opportunity. But don't make the game a basketball complex.
Noles by 1. Timeout on the floor. Entertaining first half so far. Coach Ham leading by 1. Let's present to you Saturday's men's basketball triple-header on ACC Network. Georgia Tech and Boston College start the day at 2 Eastern, then followed by 18th-ranked Clemson in Dallas taking on SMU. That'll be a huge game. And then Virginia Tech, Miami cap the triple-header. ED, you'll be in Chestnut Hill.
I'll be in the good city of Boston. Georgia Tech is playing really good basketball right now, and Boston College is coming off a win, so it should be a good matchup Saturday.
Strong drive by Jackson, blocked out. Oh, foul called on Bethia.
Again, just being aggressive to the basket. You're going to give yourself an opportunity to get fouled. It's a great job by Jackson. It's a quick crossover and then just get downhill aggressively. And it's a foul by Bethia right there. Florida State needs other guys besides Ewing and Watkins to step up and be aggressive. And I think Jackson is more than capable of getting to the basket and getting opportunities at the free throw line like this.
Jackson can't connect on that first free throw. He joked with us earlier today. He said he got to get a dub before you're allowed to celebrate your birthday. He said there's no birthday that's fun when you don't win on the court.
And if it was my birthday and I lost, I'm going right home. I'm getting a good meal and just going to sleep. You can't celebrate your birthday after a loss. You got to wait till the next day or something.
Well, the coaching staff was joking and letting him know he had a 9 a.m. class tomorrow.
I don't think it matters for these college kids.
Foul called. That is the 3rd on Florida State, who lead by 2. 31-29, 42 seconds. And a couple ticks left.
Again, Ari, like we were talking about in the beginning of the game, throw the records out the window when these two teams play. They're going to go hard at each other. It's been a little bit of helter-skelter basketball. Both teams are not shooting the ball particularly well, but you like the aggression both teams have getting to the basket, trying to create.
Late in the shot clock, nice pass. Oh, foul call. Jackson was trying to slap the ball out of the hands. They're down low.
And look, when you get the ball in the paint, regardless if it's a foul or not, you just put the refs in a tough position, right? More likely than not, if you get into the paint and you're aggressive, you're going to get a foul called.
They are going to say it was shooting, and Staten McRae was going up with it. AJ's got a chance for a couple free throws. Knocks down the first. He's got 5. Pretty good first half here from Staten McRae, the transfer from Samford, where he was an all-SoCon third-team member. Also led the SoCon in steals. Got 24 of them this season for Miami, amongst the team leaders. Shoots it well from the charity stripe, 82%. as you saw there on the first connect.
Well, he's another guy from Miami who's been playing really well. Last 3 games, averaging almost 15.5. They're shooting at 46% from the three-point line.
Miami 4th in the ACC in free throw percentage. One of the strengths of the team. They've been a pretty good offensive team all season. And Bill Courtney was telling us that earlier.
Offense isn't the issue for Miami. It's when you're giving up 80 points, it's tough to win any game.
They've done a pretty good job, though, defensively in this first half. That's got them tied at 31. Shot clock off. Knowles on the attack. Bowen attacks the rim, stops, turns mid-range, off to the left. Rebound by Kidd. He's got some time. 1 second here. Full court heave, launched in the air, is too strong. 30.
To do a better job of taking care of the ball. And offensively for Florida State, they have to do a better job of getting ball movement. Coach Stan Jones talked to us early, talked about 225 passes a game that Florida State needs. When they go below that, they lose every single one.
Just 6 assists against Clemson on Saturday for FSU. A foul early on. Cleveland assertive right out of the gate here for the Canes. Who are some players that you want to see step up? Obviously, Watkins in Cleveland will have the headlines as Matt makes the first free throw. Ewin and Kidd have been good, but who else? Is there a third option for either team that could have a big second
Well,
half?
your best guys, you want them to get your best guys the ball. So Matthew Cleveland, you want to give him the ball. You want him to be aggressive downhill. And then Florida State, you want to get Watkins the ball. And if these other guys can step up and make plays, that's just an extra for both teams.
Jalil Bethia was called the X Factor by his head coach. He's got 5 in that first half. Ewin on the drive. That's nifty. Torqued his body and still had the balance to finish.
It's just, it's rare that you see a center with that agility and that mobility. You see the little change of pace and then just turn the corner, being aggressive to the rim. Malique Ewin has to be decisive with the ball. Great job by him right there in that possession.
He was 10 of 14 against the Canes in the first matchup. Bethia, mid-range, no. Active from Cleveland. Gives a second chance. Johnson, finger roll. Got Taylor Bowen in the air.
And Aria, Johnson is another guy. He's capable of scoring 20 points. He's done it. But as of late, he's really struggled offensively. He has to look to get involved more and be aggressive on that side of the ball. And he also leads the Canes in assists.
Are there ways the Canes can help him do that?
Well, you have to be able to get him in spots where he can be most effective and be aggressive towards the rim. You would think in that mid-post area, and he's an all-right, he's a capable three-point shooter. If you can get him off a drive and kick, you want to see if you can get him open opportunities that way as well.
It's a Miami team with 2 conference wins on the year. They're winless on the road away from the Watsco Center this season, I should say. Malique Ewin fouled and is at the line, but Bill Courtney told us, look, it was tough keeping the guys together. He said there were moments where the heads were hanging, and you could just see it. It was like, how do I go back to the drawing board to keep their spirits high? He said maybe you go to Cameron and you realize that Duke's going to be tough there. You come back home to the Watsco Center and you get blown out by SMU. He said the guys have led together, and Matt Cleveland has really stepped up, and they've started to believe in what they can do here towards the end of the year. They've got a shot to make the ACC tournament. It's still there on the table.
Well, look, man, it's not fun when you're losing that amount of games when you're playing basketball. All these guys have a certain amount of pride, and they're going out here not to just play, but to win. So it's just good to see them out here competing. Early in the season, they weren't even really competing. Now they're competing. They're playing hard. They're playing with more effort and energy.
Great effort and energy from Chandler Jackson. Got the tie-up. Possession arrow towards Florida State. Jackson's given him a nice lift in this first, at least in this second half.
And Aria, to your point earlier, what can the other guys do to help their respective teams? Well, just what Jackson did. Be a pest defensively. Davis, be a pest defensively. When you get the ball, drive downhill, be aggressive. Create opportunities for yourself, but for your teammates as well.
Bowen was able to get close to the rim, couldn't finish. That was a tough attempt. Miami, 3-ball off to the left from Johnson. And a foul as Kidd and Ewin were battling in the paint. The foul is on Malique Ewin. That is his first foul.
But you like the ball movement by Miami. Great job getting downhill, 2 feet in the paint. Yeah, I mean, they're bumping down there. You got to let that one go. I don't know if that was a soft call right there.
Chukwu had a nice first half against FSU earlier this season. He's been quiet so far in this one. Davis lost the ball. Chukwu, side of the rim, a whistle late. A lot happening at the rim after the play as well. It is a foul on FSU. It's on Ewin.
And for Florida State, you're disappointed because Davis had a great opportunity at the rim on the other end. You turn over and you create another opportunity for Miami getting to the rim. And Chukwu, he's a guy who he struggled shooting the ball in his freshman year, but you've seen some bright spots, right? He's a guy who can handle the ball. He's an explosive athlete. He can get to the rim. We were talking about it in shoot-around with Coach Courtney. I'm not saying he's Russell Westbrook by any means, but he has that type of explosiveness, and a young Russell Westbrook, he still had a lot to learn at that stage. But Chukwu, if he can get his decision-making and improve his jump shooting, he can really be an impact player going forward for this Miami team.
He's got some straight-line burst, no doubt about that, as he goes to the rim. Really the only ball handler Miami has, right, that can play the point guard position at a natural ability. He played well against Florida State again on January 8th. He got hurt. And the complexion of that game changed late in the first half. The Noles ended up pulling away for a comfortable victory. Turnover from Jackson. Up ahead, Chukwu's got a couple of teammates, doesn't see them in time, and then lost it. Oh, it's got to be frustrating for the Canes. What a pass from Ewin to Jackson, and he lays it in.
Well, both teams have had opportunities in transition, and they haven't converted, and a lot of times they haven't converted and end up going on the other end and getting a fast break opportunity, which they convert. So both teams have to be able to take advantage of these turnovers that they're creating.
Cleveland's three from the left wing. That's not going to go down. Seminoles looking for the lead, down one. We were tied at 31 at the break. Screen set. Davis thought about the three. Got his man in the air. Launches off to the right. Icy shooting continues for both of these teams. Lafia, left hand, another block shot. Cleveland. Oh, Bo Bowen, a man on a mission. Kick out. A third chance. Chukwu, no. And Davis comes away with it into the hands of Watkins. 3-on-3. Watkins. Crossover dribble attack. Turns, fades, tough shot off to the right.
And it's just not a shot that you want if you're Florida State. You can get a better shot with that, but how about Bo Bowen on the defensive side of the ball, getting 2 blocks in a row? And great job by Miami recognizing the mismatch. Undersized Jackson get the ball to Lynn, who has been an efficient 5 for 5 today. He's shooting 64% from the field. I think it'd be a good idea to get him the ball around the rim.
No doubt about it. He's got 10 and 8. Timeout on the floor. And you can't tell if Florida State took the timeout or if they are stopping. Either way, Miami leads by 3.
And Bo Bowen, 1 block, 2 blocks. It looks easy, but when Bo Bowen's down there, it's not. Great job by Bo Bowen protecting the rim.
The ACC's Committee for Racial and Social Justice, in conjunction with its member institutions, have identified February 13th to 23rd as ACC Unity Week. Canes on top of the Noles here by 3 early. Second half action from Tallahassee. Aria Masudi, Eric Devendorf, our entire crew. Got Chris Matthews, Corey Huffman in the house, producing and directing. 9 o'clock here on ACC Network. Late night with the Canes and the Noles.
And Aria, it's really been a defensive battle, but both teams have had open opportunities at the rim and on the perimeter. They're just not able to finish.
Icy shooting from both. Watkins turning, facing, and he connects. That's a big-time shot. First points of the second half from Watkins from the mid-range.
You just want to keep being aggressive, regardless if you're missing or making. Keep being aggressive and creating opportunities for yourself.
9 points, 5 rebounds for Jamir. Here's Ogochukwu. He's got a mismatch against Malique. See if he recognizes it. Oh! Malique said, what mismatch? Give me that ball.
Well, that's the length right there of Florida State's defense.
Mo Bowen sticking with it, had a couple chances. What a bright sequence for Alir Malique.
How about the big fella guarding the point guard on one end, getting the steal, running the floor, getting the offense for the rebound, and getting the putback. Great sequence right there by Malique.
Talking to Leonard Hamilton about Malique earlier this season, he said that's a modern center in the NBA, right? The way that these guys are forming their skill sets, really believes in what Malique will become in his future. Turnover, even better defense from Miami, and it'll lead to 2 points. Johnson puts it in.
And it's almost kind of, you have to laugh because one team turns it over, has an advantage, they get to the rim, and then they turn it over, and the other team comes back and has the transition opportunity. It's been a lot of back and forth like that this whole game.
Air ball from Thomas, and then a foul on Davis, it looks like. Canes by 1. We'll step aside, be right back. good has Cooper Flagg been. He's a Wooden Award candidate, ACC Player of the Year favorite. He's been as advertised. And then as we move forward to the projections for the big dance, Wake no longer a part of the fields. Edie, thoughts on this? I mean, there's a lot left to play for. Just 3 teams, though, from the ACC, and the ACC tournament could be a huge difference.
Well, those first 3 teams, I think, are a lock. Talking about Duke, Clemson, and Louisville. And then you have Wake and SMU, who could still play their way in to the NCAA tournament, but you would really think that one loss would put both of those teams out.
Give me those 5 on your All-ACC first team.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter Salas, the best player. You could go back and forth and say Cam Hildreth, but, I mean, he's one of the top players in the SEC. And you got Chase Hunter, Chucky Hepburn leading the conference in steals, second in assists. Obviously, Cooper Flagg and Maxine Reynaud, the double-double machine. I mean, if you want to argue with me, I want to hear it, because there's not too many guys that you come at me with.
Well, they'll find you on social media, I promise. They know where to find you on social media. But Chucky Hepburn, you convinced me of it. Just the way that he impacts so many different areas for Pat Kelsey's team. Let me ask you this. Who would be 6th? Who's the first guy out?
Cam Hildreth. I mean, a lot of people would think he's the best player on Wake Forest. He is the heart and soul. But I did the game last weekend, SMU at Wake Forest, and I tell you what, Hunter Salas, he was on a different level, just attacking the rim, getting to the free throw line, playing defense. So it's tough to put Cam Hildreth in that first team All ACC. But that's my 5. I think, hey, if you want to come at me on Twitter, on IG, let me know what your opinion is, and I'm happy to hear it.
There's a foul on Jerry Dang after Chandler Jackson gave the Noles the lead with the mid-range floater. And then he knocks it out of bounds. I like your picks. I got nothing against them, and I think, you know, guys like R.J. Davis and Jamir Watkins, Malik Burton, J.J. Starling from Cuse, I think all those guys will be at the table as they try and figure Hildreth as well as they figure out first team and second team. It's been a really good year again in the ACC, though, for stars.
Yeah, of course. And look, Jamir Watkins has been one of the most consistent players in the country. I think he has 1 game under double figures. You talk about Marcus Burton, he's leading the league in scoring in the ACC, but all these guys that I'm talking about, their teams are winning, right? They're having an impact on their team, winning, playing winning basketball. And besides winning, they've been playing really, really good in conference.
I was organizing my notes, and all I wrote was devil's advocate. Here's 5 names.
Oh, you have to be.
Just to come back ED. I might not even agree. Or disagree. I might not even disagree.
And really out of that group, Hunter Salas might be the only guy where you could be like, all right, I'll plug into Cam Hildreth right there. But there's not too many other guys that you could really go to. The 2 locks, for sure, Cooper Flagg and Maxine Reynaud.
Totally.
For sure. And you would think Chase Hunter.
I think Chase Hunter's a lock as well. Yep, give me those 3. You know who's played like an All-ACC first-team member the last 8 games? Matt Cleveland for Miami. He has played at that level. 9 points in this one, averaging over 23 points per game in his last 8. He's given Miami a boost. The Canes are down by 1. Watkins and the Noles leading. Cleveland traveled too many steps.
And to your point, Aria, he's undoubtedly one of the best players. You see him right here, 1, 2, I don't think it was a travel. Yeah, he looked like he took 2 steps right there, 2 long steps, but
he looked confused as well.
Yeah, none. Yeah. Oh, you know what? When players get called for a travel, they always look confused. I tell you that. When I got called for a travel, I was always going to be confused.
Jerry Dang looking like Eric Devendorf from the right corner. He buries a 3, Noles by 4.
I tell you what, that was something that Florida State needed, a jump shot to go in. But you see Miami coming down to the other end, and you might as well throw it to Lynn Kid right there. He's shooting 100% from the field right now.
Kid looking like a man on that jam. Seminoles by 2. Foul on Cleveland. Here you go, rim rocker.
Jerry Dang, he's been consistent shooting the basketball for Florida State, which they really need. But how about Lynn Kid on the other end?
Well, this is a big game for Florida State against their rivals from Coral Gables, because you see what's coming up for the Noles. They've got 6 conference wins, 15 overall wins on the season, but to end this season, it's a brutal stretch.
It's tough looking forward for Florida State, but we saw what North Carolina State did last year. If you get in, you're going to have a chance, right? It's one game at a time, and I remember my freshman year, we were a 9th seed going into the Big East tournament. Nobody had us in the NCAA tournament, but we won 4 games in 4 days against some really good teams. And if you can get in the ACC tournament, you can start rolling, having some momentum, getting into it. You're going to give yourself a chance. Anything can happen once you get into tournament play.
Eric, what were some of those conversations you and your teammates were having that time of year as Cleveland goes down and is fouled?
It's just one game at a time, right? You can't look too far ahead. You got to take care of what's in front of you. And I think the biggest thing is you want to stay connected, and you just want to play as hard as you can. You got to compete at a high level. Look, at this level, you have talented guys, but usually the separator is how hard you're playing, how hard you're competing, and are you staying connected as a team through the adversity.
In this league, in the ACC, I think a golden example, as Cleveland knocks down the free throw, is Kevin Keats' NC State from 1 season ago, right? They are able to win every game in the tournament. They win the ACC championship, and then they make a run to the Final Four. It can be done.
It definitely can be done. And just to be honest with you, it makes for great TV, right? To see these guys that have been struggling the whole year to be able to get into conference play and get on a roll like that. It'd be interesting to see what team can be that NC State of this year.
It just provides a blueprint, even if it's a low percentage shot. It gives you some hope and something to work towards. But that makes seeding so important. And if the Noles can get at least a first-round bye, there'll be less games and less days to try and win every game in the ACC tournament.
And honestly, even like a team like Miami, who's at the bottom of the conference, but they're neck and neck to be able to get into that 15th spot. And if they could get there and they get in the tournament, who knows? They get rolling, they start winning a few games, start feeling good, things can happen.
Bill Courtney told us that today. He said, we all know we've got a shot. Playing for each other. A lot of guys who don't want to see their careers come to an end. Matt Cleveland, one of them. He's got 12 points. That leads the Canes. Bethea, step back, rattles out. Cleveland attacking the rim. Was attacking the glass, but he knocked it out of bounds. And a race for that first round bye. The Noles are right in the hunt. Just a couple games shy. Right now, Pitt's got it. Georgia Tech at 9. Whew, it's going to be a fight to the finish there here in this league.
Well, you want to make the route easier for you going forward, right? So if you can get that first round bye, but the whole thing is to get into the tournament. Once you get in, now it's game by game, and you just try to hopefully hit your stride when you get into that ACC tournament.
The Seminoles lead by 1 here against their rivals. Dang, ball fake, and kicks it out to Jackson, swings it. Cleveland was fighting for it. 3 on the clock. You got to get something up. Thomas with 2. At the buzzer, lost it. Lost his footing as well. Bethea, he's fouled. The seas parted, and Bethea found a wide open rim. Knowles clipped him in the end. He'll go to the line for 2.
And look, Bethea is a very talented guard, but the previous possession before that, he was just pounding the basketball, pounding the basketball, pounding the basketball. You have to be able to make better decisions with the ball in your hand. If you don't have it, get rid of it and move the ball. You can't just have the ball stick in one place for that long. It's just going to end up in a bad shot. Great job by him just being decisive, attacking, getting to the rim.
And McDonald's All-American misses the free throw. Number 9 Tar Heels highlight our Thursday night ACC Network women's basketball doubleheader. Maria Gakdeng leads Carolina against Georgia Woolley and Cuse at 6 Eastern. Then Virginia Tech hosts Stanford on another great night of women's college hoops.
And Aria, I think too, for younger players, that's just you learning how to play basketball, right? Moving the basketball. If you don't have it right away, move it, get off, cut, and get an opportunity for your teammates. But pounding the basketball usually ends up in a bad shot.
Bethea ties the game with 1 of 2. Switten's 3-ball, cans it. Swinton burying the triple.
And there's a great example of Chandler Jackson just making the extra pass to Swinton, who's another talented forward.
How about the Lynn kid? Just give me the ball around the rim and I'm going to finish for you. He hasn't missed a shot in this game.
Ewin got turned around. Kid's got the double-double, 6th of the season. And back-to-back double-doubles. Ewin, strong drive, cut it, and one.
And I tell you what, they worked on that quick, short drop right there. Coach Stan Jones had him working on that as shoot-around today. Right, you got to make that quick pocket pass. Great catch by Ewing, finishing strong and aggressive at the rim with the little stare down right there. Hey, look, it's okay to have a little bit of that in you, right? You got to stare down, you got to feel good about yourself, but it's great to see Florida State execute what they worked on in the shoot-around. Great pocket pass right there.
That's the 3rd assist for Jackson. Missed free throw. Swinton, second chance three. Yes, sir! Timeout, Miami. The energy and hustle from Florida State. And they lead by 6. Little over 8 minutes to go. Noles lead by 6 after the timeout from Miami. The hustle, the energy, and the effort leads to a second chance three from Swinton.
Well, they say the best time to get an open three-point shot is off an offensive rebound. And how about the other guys stepping up? Swinton hitting his second consecutive three.
A.J. Swinton, who missed a chunk of this season with an injury, has started to play well for Florida State as he's developed in his freshman year out of Cabin John, Maryland. Florida State's first commit. 6 big points in the second half. It's the largest lead for Florida State at 6. A little under 9 minutes to go in this rivalry game. As we take a look at our game summary from the Noles and the Canes, you see Ewin's had a big contest here tonight. He's 6 for 6 from the floor. Kid's had himself quite a game as well. He's been pretty efficient. What do you need to see in the final 9 minutes or so from both of these teams to come out of here with a win?
Well, both the bigs have not missed a shot. Lynn is 7 for 7, and then 6 for 6 for Malique Ewin. But if I'm Miami, you can't let the ball stick. You have to get some movement. If you can get the ball to Lynn in a spot where he's effective, I would do that. Florida State, continue to be aggressive, get some ball movement, look for those open opportunities.
Staten McCray, shot was partially deflected. It rimmed out. Here's Swinton. Is that a bright sequence for the Noles? The attacks! Lost it on the way up. Through some contact. Here's Cleveland. Hop step. Oh, it was poked away. And this fan base loves it. Oh, they've given him a hard time tonight. Ewin against Kidd. Couple of moves. Wrap around. How did he do it?
And I tell you what, man, this kid's skill set is superior. When he gets around the basket, his footwork, his touch, his agility. 100% shooting from the field for Malique Ewin.
A magician around the rim. Backdoor cut, but it was deflected. Cleveland lost it on the way up, and a foul called on Swinton. Noles by 8. It's been the Ewin Show.
And Aria, you call him a magician, but how about this? Up and under, good footwork, finishing with the left hand. Malique Ewin.
Being like just a kid from Maine, and people were just kind of underestimating me.
Ready before I was born. Are you serious? Kid his age should be high school. Wow.
Being like just a kid from Maine, and people were just kind of underestimating me.
Ready before I was born. Are you serious? Kid his age should be high school. Wow.
Well, he's appointment television for third ring to Cooper Flagg. He gets to play the Canes on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. You see the 1 and 2 seeds released from Joe Lunardi. The Blue Devils, one of them. It's going to be a fun March Madness, man.
I tell you what, Cooper Flagg is the real deal. I mean, he's doing everything for Duke. He's scoring, he's passing the ball, right? He's playing defense. I mean, he's not underrated at all or spoken too highly of. He's a guy that will be the #1 pick in the NBA draft come June.
He was supposed to be really good, and I think most people thought he would make an impact immediately and was a phenom. Are you surprised that it's looked as easy for him as it has, especially after the first few games of non-conference where he was going through a gauntlet of opponents there on neutral courts?
I think the big thing for him is he's super skilled, he's super talented, but he's the guy on the court who plays the hardest. Like, he's competing at a super high level, and that's really the separator. When you're that good, when you have that skill set, but you're the one who really gives it all on the court, I mean, it shows. That's why he's going to be the #1 pick in the draft.
Yes, he will. Speaking of guys with high skill sets, down low at least tonight, Malique Ewin, he connects, and then the response there as well from Johnson. Ewin! Oh, he couldn't put it down, but a foul is called. There was a whistle. That was a pinpoint pass to find Ewin.
Well, how about the pace that both of these teams are playing with right now? Chandler Jackson, it really almost looked like it was going in, but I don't know if that, is that a miss? No, they didn't count that as a miss because he got fouled, so it's
still perfect.
It's still a perfect 8 for 8, but Malique Ewin this whole game has just been aggressive. He's been assertive. He's been showing his skill set, bringing the ball up, passing the ball, making moves in the post, finishing with both hands. He's having an outstanding game today. And excuse me, I said Cooper Flagg underrated. I said he's not overrated. He's a guy who's lived up to all the expectations.
He's been good for college basketball in this era. Ewin knocks them both down. 59-51.
Really, in this second half for Miami, they've been turning the ball over, and they haven't been getting it to their guy who is shooting 100% for the field, along with Malique Ewin. have to do a better job of making decisions with the basketball, something that Coach Courtney was talking about at shoot-around.
There's a spirited shoot-around for Miami earlier today, and they huddled at the end of it, as most teams do, and they talked about, again, make it hard on Florida State, no easy drives, be together, be connected, play as one. And they've done that for the first 30 minutes of this basketball game. And over the last couple, Florida State has asserted itself, especially down low. Watkins, that's a deep three. Halfway down and out.
Well, to your point, Ari, it's really been decision-making for Miami. Once they get in the half court, they haven't been making good decisions with the basketball at all.
You got 14 turnovers in this one. They've struggled to protect the ball for large parts of this season.
And then you just see, even right here on this position, the ball's sticking. They're not guys that are just standing around. And look, you're going to get opportunities like those with a guy like Matthew Cleveland, but you can't sustain through a whole basketball game shooting those type of shots.
Cleveland at 8 against Pitt. Before that, 7 straight with 20 points. Moles have done a nice job, though, defensively on him. He's just 3 for 11, even with those 14 points. He's got 7 free throws out of 8 attempts.
Just the length and athleticism that Florida State has at every single position, it's going to be tough for any player.
What a pass from Thomas behind the back to Ewin.
In the second half, Florida State has really started to move the ball better. Guys are touching it. They're feeling good. And when everybody on the team is touching the basketball, they want to share it, right? They know it's coming back to them, and that's when you get better opportunities at the rim.
Here's Schwartz. Thea inside the Kid, cutting to the basket. Knowles took it away. Johnson now. Schwartz steps back, lines up for 3. No. Ewin, rebound. He's got 5 of them. He's trying for the full court pass. Frenetic. Here at the Tucker Center, a little sloppy. Jump ball possession arrow to Miami.
Malique Ewin is still 100% from the field. Wow, Justin Thomas right there, just knowing Ewin was right around the rim, hits him with the behind the back, or half behind the back pass, but great job by Ewin just being available. And I mean, he has to be having a career night tonight. 22 points, 9 for 9 from the field, 5 rebounds, 3 steals.
He's been Mr. Do-It-All for Florida State. We were talking to Knowles associate head coach Stan Jones about Ewin's maturity, right, as he grows on the court and how he's learning to battle through tough moments. And Coach Jones said when he asserts himself early in games, he's had nice nights. He's been an impact for us and one of the best bigs in the ACC. Tonight he's done that against Miami.
Well, when you're one of the best players on the court, every time you step on, you have to set the tone and be assertive. When you get the ball in effective areas, be aggressive and show that you're one of the best players on the floor. Don't be soft when you get the basketball. Be aggressive and set the tone.
Ewin has done that tonight as he gets a quick breather. 22 big points. Here's Kidd, who's had a nice night himself. Lost the ball on the way up. Didn't get a clean attempt. Seminoles defense has been fantastic here in this second half.
Right here, Florida State, just execute offensively, get some ball movement, get a clean look.
Miami shooting just 32% this half. 7 of 22. Not on the same page. Watkins must have took his eye off Thomas for the half second that Thomas let the ball go.
And those are just the unforced errors that you can't have, you know. Even going forward for, you know, trying to get some momentum in this game, you're up 8 points, but you just want to continue to build on playing well.
A little over 4. North Carolina, Syracuse women's on Thursday at 6 o'clock. Carolina's got a heck of a basketball team. Speaking of women's basketball, Miami and Florida State just played as Cleveland can't connect. Watkins into the front court. Thomas, Boboin stripped.
I'll tell you what, it has been a sloppy one today, but Florida State's doing a great job of just making it tough for Matthew Cleveland every time he gets into the paint.
First points of the game for Schwartz. He was cherry picking, got rewarded. Davis, that's well done from the freshman.
The one thing I really like about Davis is he doesn't let missed shots and turnovers deter him from being aggressive. He continues to be aggressive getting downhill.
That's a big three from Swords. Timeout taken by Miami. A little under 3.5 to play in Tallahassee. Big shots here from Swartz.
And Miami is keeping themselves in the game. Swartz knocking it down.
Well, a tight finish in Tallahassee, but I want to remind you our next gymnastics meet is right here on ACCN and the ESPN app. Sunday afternoon, number 16, Stanford squares off against Clemson at Little John Coliseum. Coverage beginning at 4 p.m. Eastern. Lynn Kidd and the Canes, they've cut the lead to 5. Despite Malique Ewin's best efforts, he's got 22 and 5 to lead Florida State. He's got 4 20-point games, by the way, in his career, and 2 of them coming against the Miami Hurricanes this season.
Well, Florida State, they were just up 8 points, and then obviously now they're up 5, but unforced turnovers by Florida State, rushing in the half-court set. You have a guy on your team who hasn't missed a shot. You think you want to get him the ball and try to play through him.
I was about to ask you who gets the ball here. Seems pretty obvious. Davis at the moment, handling point. Watkins, top of the key. Thomas on the curl. Good defense there from Swartz.
And right there, you have to get him the ball.
Ewin sets that screen, sets another roll. Watkins probing the defense, lost out of bounds. It will be, and to discuss it. And it's going to stay with Florida State.
Well, Aria, Justin Thomas coming off that screen. You got to find Malique Ewin right away. He was just wide open. You missed him, then you try to get it to him. And now you're playing with no spacing. And look at everybody's bunched up. And you can't pass the ball when everybody's together like that. You have no spacing.
Watkins, clean look from 3. No, Davis, weak side rebounds. It's been a tough night for Watkins, just 2 of 12. As Davis is fouled by Cleveland's. That's just Miami's 15th foul.
And if I'm Florida State, I need to take a big, deep breath and just relax. You get the offensive rebound right there, just take it out. You don't have to try to go right back in when you have nothing going on.
Coach Hamilton looking for a victory against Miami one final time here in his career at Florida State.
And really, if I'm Florida State, I'm just involved in Ewin, whether it's in a handoff, whether you're coming off a down screen and looking to drop it back into the post. Or if I'm Jamir Watkins, I put my head down and put my shoulder to his chest and get to the free throw line.
That's what you wanted if you were Florida State, right, ED? You had Watkins on a strong drive with Ewin cleaning it up in case he missed it and wasn't fouled. But Watkins will go to the line for 2.
There's 2:45 left in the game. I want the ball in 2 of my best players' hands. Jamir Watkins, get the ball, pick and roll situation, try to get downhill. If not, play through Malique Ewin.
Watkins can't make the free throw. Every point critical now. Miami will love that.
Really, Florida State, they had this game, but they just continued to turn the ball over and just be helter-skelter offensively. And Miami has gotten opportunities, hitting 3-point shots, and just continue to creep back in.
Canes are still in it. Watkins does have 10 points now. 33rd time in double figures in his career in the ACC. Johnson, Canes down 6. Need a bucket? Nope, they turn it over instead. Number 15 on the night.
Well, they've been turning it over all night, and they've had their opportunities to get back into this game, but when you're turning the ball over that much, you're bound to lose.
I looked over to my left, and Bill Courtney put both hands over his face.
Well, that was a bad pass. They didn't have the angle on the pass, and he didn't have positioning into the post.
Watkins driving again. He's fouled again. So Jamir Watkins, Florida State's best player, taking matters into his own hands here late.
When you turn the ball over, you just give extra possessions to the other team. And eventually, they're going to take advantage of those extra possessions. You see right there, Jamir Watkins doing a great job and doing what he does best, get downhill, drawing the foul.
Watkins makes the first of 2. Preseason All-ACC team member for a senior out of Trenton, New Jersey. Started his career at VCU. Has been one of the ACC's most consistent players all year long. Leads the ACC in getting to the line. He's got 8 more attempts here tonight. He's lived there. Got to give him credit. He's had 7 big rebounds for Florida State, despite the scoring struggles from the floor.
Well, he has great size at the guard position. He's aggressive going to the ball.
That was really nice from Ugo Chukwu.
And we talked about him. He's just an explosive athlete. He can get to the rim. Needs to improve his jump shot. Needs to improve his decision making. As a point guard, you got to know what spots guys have to be on the floor, and you have to be decisive with your decision making.
Under 2 to play. Watkins fouled again. Miami can't stay in front of him at the moment.
Well, when Jamir gets the head of steam downhill and he finds that little crease, he's able to use his body to be strong in those angles, and he just forces you to call those fouls at the rim just by how aggressive he gets there. You see Coach Hamilton, he's working it.
That foul was on Matt Cleveland. He's got 4 of them. Both him and Lynn Kidd, each with 4 fouls.
And he just really struggled the whole game today. 3 for 12, 1 for 3. He's done a great job getting to the line, 7-8. But Florida State has really been making it tough for him every time he gets to the rim. I mean, their length and their athleticism, it's just making it super difficult for Cleveland to be able to finish.
Watkins has left a couple points at the line. Does connect there. Not a friendly bounce from the rim. 67-60. Turnover again for Miami. Oh, and Bill Courtney's exasperated.
Well,
Top of your screen.
That's been the case for Miami the whole game. 16 turnovers and just continuing to give this Florida State extra possessions, and it looks like it's too little too late for Miami.
You start fouling if you're the Canes now, or at this point you might wait out the possession. Season high in turnovers for the Canes. Watkins on the drive, stripped. Under a minute to play. On the attack, laid in by Ugochukwu. It's a 5-point game, so the Noles have kept Miami around with some turnovers of their own and some late life for the Canes.
Well, I don't know if Florida State wants to win this basketball game, turning the ball over, and Ugochukwu doing a good job being an athlete like he is, finishing at the rim. But both teams have been turning the ball over at a high rate and just giving opportunities to stay in this game. Florida State has for Miami.
Combined 29 turnovers for Miami and Florida State. See the timeout situation there. Both teams are in the 1-and-1 bonus. Possession arrow does favor the Noles. Late in the season in the ACC, this is big for both teams. Miami still hasn't won away from the Watsco Center this season, and Florida State looking for 3 wins in their last 4 after losing their previous 4.
Well, a loss right here would really mean it's a slim chance for Miami in their ACC tournament hopes, and obviously a loss for Florida State would put them out of the first round bye ACC tournament conversation. But they want to, both teams, they want to continue to build momentum going forward, give themselves a chance to get in that tournament conversation for Miami, and then hopefully win some more games. And then talk about North Carolina State, what they did last year. Can Florida State be one of those teams?
Seminoles hoping to get a win against their rivals. They have dominated this series. 13 of the last 14 have come away with a Seminole victory, including 4 in a row. Nothing but net coming up next. Foul there. Watkins and the Noles leading by 5.
Well, Watkins really just has to knock down these free throws. If you can do that, you can take care of the ball, you think you could seal the victory. But at this point, anything's a go right now, the way that both teams are turning over the basketball.
He is 8 of 10 overall on the night. You see it there on the right side of your screen. But those 2 misses have come in each of the last 2 trips.
And besides
this is a 1-on-1.
Besides the basketball, sorry about that, Aria, but besides the basketball player that Watkins is, a great story about the number change, and we talked about it earlier in the season, but changing his number to 1, he's the first person in his family to be able to graduate from college.
Huge.
And he wanted to be able to show his cousins and his younger siblings that you're capable of doing that as well. Great story, Jamir Watkins.
And they just announced in arena, Jamir Watkins now 1,500 career points between the 2 schools, VCU and Florida State. Got a round of applause. Stick back there for Joe Bay. Miami back to within 5. 44 seconds left. Noles take a timeout. Watkins was asking for it and was granted. Noles will have 1 left. Yep, I'm ready. Brought to you by healthcare.gov.
Malique Ewin, he's been doing it all night. He's showing his skill set, handling the basketball, getting to the rim, being effective on the offensive glass, finishing. And Malique Ewin is really one of the most skilled centers, not only in the ACC, but the country, and he's showing it tonight
versus Miami, shooting 100% from the field. This is his second 20-point game versus the Miami team. He's had 4 20-point games all year, but Malique Ewin, 22 points, 9 of 9 from the field, 5 rebounds, 3 steals. He deserves player of the game tonight.
Had 20 points and 10 rebounds against Miami in game 1. Foul on the floor.
If you're Florida State, you just want to be able to knock down these free throws. But on the other end, you don't just want to let Miami come back and get right to the rim. You want to try to get a good defensive possession to stop and try to extend this lead even more if you can.
Jackson into double figures. Hoping to celebrate 21 in style. One more. These are critical now for Florida State, looking for their 7th ACC win. Second one, oh, friendly home bounce. 71-64.
I want to shout out my guy Chuck, the SID at Florida State. Done a lot of games in the ACC. I tell you what, Chuck is a class act. He's one of the best, not only in the ACC, but in the country.
Jobay throws it down with authority.
You don't just want to keep letting Miami score baskets. You want to try to get some stops, but now you just want to be able to knock down free throws if you're Florida State.
Thomas alley-oop!
And there you have it. Malique Ewin with a new career high.
24 points and maybe the cherry on top. On the attack, kick out. Kane's looking for that 3. Jobay, pump fake, now fires off to the left. Clock ticking. Johnson, Cleveland, can't connect. One last foul with 4 seconds, and the fans are going to come to their feet here at the top.
Well, it's just a cherry on the top for Malique Ewin having a career night. 24 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals, a couple assists. Malique Ewin has been doing it all tonight. And all right, just like we talked about in the beginning, throw the records away. These teams want to beat each other badly.
Well, Florida State's now beaten Miami 5 times in a row, and 14 out of the last 15.
Excuse me, 5 rebounds from Malique Ewin.
And for FSU, it'll be a big 7th ACC victory as they continue to vie for a first-round bye in the ACC tournament. Watkins does knock down the second. Want to thank Kirk McCarley. Great job on talent stats here tonight. Cleveland, right at the end. That's not going to go. Florida State, 74. Miami, 66. Rivalry dub in Tallahassee to the Noles.